Good evening, and good evening once again. Hi, hello. My name is Pebbles. I am the executive news producer of Missing, Lost in Traffic and Lure Lost and Unsolved. I thank you all so very much for taking time out of your busy schedules and tuning in to this live stream today. I would love for you, to begin sharing this live stream, of course, with your family members and your friends. I would love for you to begin sharing this live stream with any missing person groups that you are a part of at this time. I would love for you to share this live stream with any human trafficking groups that you are a part of at this time, any community groups, citywide groups, crime scanner groups that you are a part of at this time. Feel free to share this live stream to other social media platforms if permitted to do so outside of Facebook. And so I thank you so much. I thank you so much again. If you'd like to follow Missing Lost in Traffic, just know you can follow us on Facebook. I also want you to know that we have a Missing Lost in Traffic Facebook group comprised of over 14,000 members. We have been very successful in our outreach and recovery rescue efforts in terms of what individuals have done within the group to reconnect the lost, right, with their family or back to their homes for more than 4 years, which is great. Also, if you want to follow Missing Lost in Traffic, you can follow Missing Lost in Traffic on X. That is the newest platform that I've established within the past 2 weeks. Is the platform that we have on X. Also, you can subscribe. You're being encouraged to subscribe and become a member for exclusive benefits on Missing Lost in Traffic YouTube channel. In addition to that platform, we have a Missing Lost in Traffic Patreon. We encourage you to become a free or paid member. Support our Patreon today so we can expand what we're doing with Missing, Lost in Traffic and the outreach, the advocacy, with our multimedia true crime episodes that we host on Roku TV as well on the Chaos After Dark TV channel. Your becoming a Patreon member will help us so much in reaching our goals. In addition to this, right, to that platform, Patreon platform, there is a Snapchat platform. You can follow Missing Lost in Traffic on Snapchat at this time. If you like to email Missing Lost in Traffic any of your story ideas, you want to enlighten us on some incident that has occurred on social media, that has occurred in your community in relation to violent crime of any kind, missing persons, possibly trafficked individuals, feel free to email us at missinglostandtrafficked@gmail.com. That's missinglostandtrafficked@gmail.com for advertisements, partnerships. Please email collaborations. Email Missing Lost in Traffic at missinglostandtrafficked@gmail.com. And we thank you all so very much for doing so. We have initiated, and this has been in effect for nearly a month, a 50-state alert for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie missing out of Tucson, Arizona. Out of Tucson, Arizona, investigators believe that she was taken from her home at some point after midnight, and they have been, following up on various leads. There have been temporary detainments of multiple individuals. They have also released information regarding odd yet extremely, I would say, interesting discoveries that they have made, right? That they have uncovered in their pursuit to attempt to figure out what has happened to Nancy Guthrie. The Pima County Sheriff's Department has been investigating Nancy's disappearance. They are receiving assistance from the FBI. Their command post was initially stationed in Tucson, Arizona, pertaining to Nancy's investigation. However, within the past 24 hours, we have learned that the command post will be transitioning, will be shifting over to Phoenix, Arizona, which is more than 2 hours away in driving time, give or take, from Tucson, Arizona. So, what I like to do before we begin discussing and before you begin engaging in discussion with Missing, Lost, and Trafficked, sharing your thoughts on whether you believe those responsible for Nancy's abduction are amateurs, amateur criminals, or some sort of sophisticated group or network. I would love to begin asking you all across the country to share this live stream. We're going to host yet another live 50 state alert and to let everyone know where you're sharing from. So if you are tuning in, if you are watching from the state of Alabama, I'd love for you to share this live stream and let me know where you're sharing from. If you're tuning in from Montgomery, Alabama, or Birmingham, Alabama, I would love for you to let me know in comments where you're sharing from, and I thank you so very much for doing so. If perhaps you are watching this live stream out of Alaska, I would love for you to share this live stream and let us know where you're sharing from. Do we have anyone tuning in out of Arizona? Perhaps you're in Tucson, Arizona, or Phoenix, Arizona. I would love for you to let me know in comments where you're sharing this live stream from, and I thank you so very much. If we have anyone tuning in out of Arkansas, especially Little Rock, Arkansas, I would love for you to tune in and let me know where you are sharing this live stream from. Little Rock, Arkansas. Do we have anyone tuning in out of Sacramento, California, San Diego, California, Los Angeles, California, San Francisco, California, California City, California? Let us know in comments where you're tuning in from, and I thank you so very much. Do we have anyone tuning in out of Denver, Colorado, anywhere in Colorado? I would love for you to share this live stream, and I would love for you to let me know where you're sharing from. If you are perhaps tuning in, you're on the East Coast, northeastern, all right, region of the country. If you're watching out of Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, perhaps anywhere in Connecticut, I would love for you to share this live stream and let me know where you are. Do we have anyone tuning in out of Delaware, perhaps Dover, Delaware? If you're tuning in anywhere out of the state of Delaware, I'd love for you to share this live stream. And of course, let me know, let us all know where you are sharing this live stream from at this time. Thank you, Doug, sharing out of Massachusetts. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here. I see that you are here on YouTube. We are streaming in more than one place. So I just want you to know that we're streaming from YouTube right now. In addition to that stream, we're streaming live on Missing, Lost, and Trafficked Media Facebook page. Okay. So thank you, Doug, for being here. If you are tuning in out of Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, let me know where you are tuning in from. Miami, Florida, let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me know where you are. Daytona, let me know. Clearwater, I love to know where you are. St. Petersburg, I love to know where you are. Let me know where you're tuning in from at this time, right? Tampa, Florida, I love to know. Orlando, Florida, I love to know where you are. West Palm Beach, I love to know where you are. How about Georgia, the good state of Georgia? If you're tuning in from Marietta, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, or Atlanta, Georgia. Let me know where you are, and I thank you so very much. How about Hawaii? Do we have anyone tuning in out of Hawaii? If so, please let me know where you are, and I thank you so much. What about Idaho? Anyone tuning in out of Idaho at all? If so, let me know where you are. How about Illinois? You might be in Champaign, Illinois, or Springfield, Illinois, or Chicago, Illinois. I'd love to know where you are at this time. What about Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, wherever you are in Indiana, Hammond, Indiana? Let me know where you are. Anyone in Indiana, where you're tuning in from, and I thank you so much. What about Iowa? Do we have anyone tuning in out of Iowa? If so, don't be shy. Let me know where you are. Help us raise awareness regarding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. We do believe that this 50 state alert is essential. We believe that raising awareness across the United States amongst good people, right? Good people, good caring people would help to, I would say, surface credible tips that the FBI is certainly going to need to figure out, to crack this case and figure out what has happened to Nancy Guthrie. If you are in Kansas, perhaps you're in Topeka, Kansas, or you are in Frankfort, Kentucky, wherever you are in Louisiana. Jennifer McDaniel is here. Thank you for being here and supporting as always. Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I love to know where you are and where you're sharing this live stream from. Zachary, Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana. Do we have anyone watching out of Maine, Augusta, Maine, Annapolis, Maryland? Let us know where you are. Massachusetts, it's already here. Anyone sharing out of Boston? What about Lansing, Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Detroit? I appreciate you. Alabama, I appreciate you for being here. How about St. Paul, Minnesota? If you are watching out of Minnesota, do we have anyone in Minnesota at all? If so, let me know where you are and where you're sharing from. What about the state of Mississippi? If you're watching out of the state of Mississippi, it could be Jackson, Mississippi. Let me know where you are. Jefferson City, Missouri. Let me know where you are. Helena, Montana. Anywhere in Montana. Let me know where you are and where you're sharing this live stream from. What about Lincoln, Nebraska? Let me know where you are. Anyone watching in Nebraska and where you're sharing from. How about Carson City, Nevada? Okay, let me know. Las Vegas, anyone watching out of Nevada, anyone at all, please let me know. Nevada. And I thank you for being here, and I thank you for sharing. We need to have more shares. Jennifer, help me out and let me know how many people have shared so far. What about Concord, New Hampshire? New Hampshire, where are you? Please let me know if you're here. Anyone on the East Coast at all? I appreciate it. We're still on the East Coast right now. New Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey. Let me know where you are. New Mexico, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Let me know where you are. Let me know where you are. New Mexico and where you're sharing from. Albany, New York. Albany, wherever you are, please let me know where you are and where you're sharing this live stream from. Brooklyn, New York. New York, New York. You could be watching out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Anyone watching out of North Carolina at all, please let me know where you are and where you're sharing from. North Dakota, I love to know where you are. Bismarck, we have anyone watching out of Bismarck, North Dakota? If so, let me know. Ohio, Columbus City, or Columbus, Ohio, that is, right? Cincinnati, Cleveland, Ohio. Please let me know where you are and where you're sharing from. What about Salem, Oregon, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Providence, Rhode Island? Anyone watching out of Columbia, South Carolina, or anywhere in the entire state of South Carolina? Please let me know where you are. Perry, South Dakota. Anyone tuning in out of South Dakota at all, let me know where you are. I appreciate you so much. Nashville, Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee. Please let me know. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Please let me know. What about Austin, Texas? Harris County. Let me know where you are and where you're sharing from. Houston, Texas. Galveston, Texas. What about Utah? Anyone watching out of Salt Lake City, Utah? Vermont, perhaps? Maybe you're in Richmond, Virginia, or Olympia, Washington. I love to know where you are and where you're sharing this live stream from. Anyone tuning in out of West Virginia, we are live on YouTube. So I want to let you all know you can tune in to Missing Lost in Traffic now from our Missing Lost in Traffic Facebook page, or if you choose to go over to our YouTube channel, you have got to type out Missing Lost in Traffic, okay? So thank you so much. West Virginia, where are you? Charleston, where are you? Madison, Wisconsin. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wyoming. Do we have anyone watching out of Wyoming? And if you're anywhere in Mexico, any states throughout the country of Mexico, of course, we've extended our 50-state alert out towards, right? We want to stretch it all the way to Mexico and in states throughout Mexico, because it's highly likely that wherever Miss Guthrie is, she could be somewhere towards that direction. Not saying that she is in Mexico, because we really don't know, but we want to do everything we can to reach as many people as possible and individuals in Mexico. I'm learning a lot. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about people who provided services to Nancy Guthrie. So I am, for really good reasons, extending our 50-state alert. I've created multiple flyers for awareness purposes that I've created. You'll see those flyers. One of the flyers that I've created to raise awareness regarding Nancy Guthrie, you can see on the screen right now. It's being displayed, but there are others. I've even gone as far as to create flyers in Spanish, in the Spanish language, because we really want to be a part of leading a rather aggressive and intense campaign, right? In hopes that we can reach people of various nationalities and in different regions across the country and abroad who may have important information that they would be willing to share with law enforcement that can help them figure out exactly, well, what has happened here. Now, what I'm going to do right now before we go into our topic for this live stream, I just want to go over some of the most concerning details, right, regarding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. And I thank you all for being here again. All right, so in the investigation into the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, authorities have highlighted several highly suspicious and unusual details. Let's talk about prior surveillance. The scouting visit is what is being referred to. Investigators believe the suspect did not choose the home at random. I'll say that again. Investigators believe the suspect, or perhaps suspects, did not choose Nancy Guthrie's home at random. Evidence indicates the suspect visited Guthrie's Tucson home at least once prior to the February 1st abduction. One doorbell image shows the suspect without a backpack or gun, which sources suggest was taken during a scouting mission. Okay, let's talk about intent. This suggests a sophisticated type of criminal activity involving planning and preparation rather than a random crime. Sophisticated disabling of cameras. The suspect took active, deliberate steps to avoid detection on the night of the abduction. Digital blackout. Guthrie's Google Nest doorbell camera was disconnected at 1:47 a.m. on February 1st. Let's talk about manual tampering. Recovered video shows the masked suspect using a flashlight in his mouth while attempting to cover the camera lens with shrubbery and plants. Let's talk about data. Because Guthrie did not have a subscription to the doorbell service, the FBI had to recover these images using data in back-end systems. Let's talk about the pacemaker disconnect. A critical and unusual piece of evidence is the data from Guthrie's pacemaker. The device app recorded a final disconnect from her phone at 2:28 a.m. Let's talk about a timestamp. Well, roughly 40 minutes after the camera was disabled is believed to be the exact window when she was removed from her home. Let's talk about physical evidence and ransom notes. DNA and gloves. DNA not belonging to Guthrie or her family was found at the home. A pair of black gloves found 2 miles away appeared to match those worn by the suspect, though DNA on them did not trigger a match in the CODIS. Okay. Let's talk about neighborhood activity. A speeding vehicle. Ring camera footage from a neighbor 2.5 miles away captured a car, potentially a Kia Soul, speeding down the road at 2:36 a.m., just 8 minutes after the pacemaker disconnect. Just 8 minutes after. That's important for us to know. Let's talk about a suspect profile. The suspect is described as a male, 5'9" to 5'10", wearing, at the time of Nancy's abduction, rather, presumably, an Ozark Trail hiker pack, 25-liter that is, and a holster with unique characteristics. All right. Let's talk about a reward. There's been several rewards being offered or has already been offered to motivate people who definitely may have information regarding her whereabouts to come forward. Okay. As of late February of 2026, a $1 million private family reward is being offered for information leading to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie. A family reward is being offered up to $1 million for any information leading to her recovery. Let's talk about the FBI reward. A separate $100,000 reward remains active for information leading to Nancy's location or the arrest, or the arrest and conviction of those involved. Let's talk about local rewards. Additional funds from 8A Crime, Tucson Crime Stoppers, bring the total combined reward to over $1.2 million. Okay. Now, tips can be submitted anonymously. The family reward can be paid in cash and does not require an ID. Instead, it uses a 7-digit PIN associated with the tip. And I'm going to do some additional research so I can provide you with exact instructions, because we don't have those like detailed instructions in terms of the family's reward and the PIN that can be used, and how the PIN is accrued, or how to get a PIN. We don't know. So I'll do some extra research so I can make sure I just have a post on multiple platforms. If nothing else, just kind of give you those basic instructions at some point later this evening. Now, condition: the reward is specifically for Nancy's recovery and is not contingent on an arrest or prosecution. The reward that the family is offering is just for the recovery of Nancy Guthrie. Tips. Tips can be submitted through the FBI tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI or 1-800-225-5324, 1-800-225-5324, or the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Now, Jennifer, you had a question. You said when we say disconnected, this means they went in mainly and turned everything off. It could be out of range, can be a disconnection. When something is no longer picking up a certain signal, if that makes sense, or it can be a manual disconnection. It just depends on the circumstances. But thank you for that, your question. Now, I made a post. I published a post rather, asking, just probing to see who would be interested in joining a discussion with myself live regarding Nancy's disappearance, Nancy's abduction. And what I've done is I thought about a topic that I believe, we the people should be talking about and discussing at this time, because it's very important, right? It is one thing if Nancy's disappearance is the result of some sort of botched burglary, right? And I believe it takes the investigation into a totally different direction if her abduction is the workings of a sophisticated criminal network or group. So I thought talking about that topic and hearing your thoughts, what you think, right? Amateur or sophisticated network, so to speak, sophisticated group, sophisticated individual. I thought that would be great for us to begin just debating, talking about it, me learning more from you about like what you really think. I can go on and on about like what I think, but I want to hear from you today. Now, what I have done, I did include a link. I made pre-announcements. So in the pre-announcements, and what I'm going to do now, even in the comments on Facebook, just in case you didn't see it, I included a link on how you can join this live stream or send a request to, and you can choose to turn your camera on or off. So for StreamYard, I'm glad that I, re-subscribe to my StreamYard. It's really cool because if you don't want to come on camera, you don't necessarily have to. So I'm including a link now. You can cut the camera off basically before you join. Once you click on the link and you're backstage, you'll see it where, you can even mute the audio, right? It's pretty simple. So I've included a link in the live chat on Facebook. It's also included in the live chat on YouTube as well. So I want you to know that as well. For you to join, we can chat a few minutes. If there's not a lot of people that I see backstage, then maybe we chat a bit longer. But if there are a lot of people, I got to try to keep it to 5 minutes. If there are a lot of people who decide, hey, I want to participate today. So I've included a link. That link has been provided into the live chat. It was provided in the live chat before I started this live stream. It was posted in post, you know, announcing that we will be live after 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I've also included links and to stream into our Facebook Live right now. So you'll see it. It's in your face. Okay, you can click on the link if you want to join this discussion. And if you're confused, what are we talking about? Well, do you think this is the work of an amateur, someone sophisticated, basically in a nutshell? And I want you to tell me why, you believe that. So I'm just waiting to see. I don't know who all is watching here. Someone is saying, I'll click to see what you're saying. It's a lot. If you want to join, I encourage you to join because it's a lot trying to read everything you're saying in comments and respond. You could turn your camera off, click on the StreamYard link, and Jennifer, you can join and then we can discuss. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate your stars. I appreciate all of the support and all of the shares. Just letting you all know right now. Okay. All right. I am really nervous. I know you can make any story so true and it not be. I'm really feeling this isn't organized either with those three. Kayla. All right. Day. I think this is you. So I'll take this out and okay. So I'm going to add you on here so we can talk. I'm trying to add you now. Send the request once more. I see you here. I don't know why I can't get you on. All right. All right. Now I can add you. Now I think you're here. Oh, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Doing a great job.
I'm doing great. First, I have to do a sound check. Hey, can everyone, since you turned your camera on, can everyone hear Jennifer? Jennifer, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And can everyone hear Jennifer? And can you see Jennifer? I gotta always check because I never know. It depends on what's happening with the network. Somebody's gonna tell me. I know Doug is here, so someone will tell me in the chat, and then I'm going to check on my end and see what's going on for my device before you begin sharing your thoughts. Let me just do a quick check myself. All right, yes. So I'm just listening to you right now.
Well, so when I got on Grok yesterday, I was asking it to basically scan over all the media information and look for ideas that we had missed. And I sent those to you.
Yes.
I've been listening to everybody's story, and the one with the brother in law, that one rubbed me wrong at first, but now that I'm circling back with the band member, they're building some really compelling stuff. But then also with that Kayla Day and those two suspects that they pulled the Jeep on, that guy really looks so much like that picture. And then I'm wondering, could those two somehow through drugs or something have connected since this seems organized? And then the last thing is that hard pacemaker shutdown and somebody knowing that. Grok said that we had not looked enough at that, the whole social media aspect. There just wasn't enough investigation on it. So I'm just here to listen and ask weird questions to see if there's something I missed. Super nervous that we're missing something, but
yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot that has been missed by investigators, and I think that they will continue to miss unless they are taking extreme measures in their investigation to figure out what has happened. They have to kind of broaden. I want to say, I want to put it in the right words. it's great that they're looking at different angles, but I don't know if they have like more, if it's narrow, if they already just have maybe one or two leads that they're focused on, laser focused on. And if so, I hope there's compelling reasons for that. Or if perhaps they're being too laser focused, but on the wrong sort of information, on the wrong leads, on the leads that's maybe not leading where they need to go. That's what I mean, like broaden the scope of the investigation. Does that make sense?
It does, and I'll tell you
Okay.
why. I one
Yes.
time when I was younger, I had this whole theory on something. I'm not even going to say what it was.
Yeah.
And every fact was true. There was no deception in it. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I got to the last bit of reasoning, it was all false. I had built this whole thing in my head based on a false scenario. And it
Yeah.
scares me that that's happening here.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is. It's definitely scary that could be happening here. I know there have been many cases that I have reported on and investigated as an investigative journalist. We're human, and all of the circumstances, the actions of people, right? We're looking at
Yeah.
like their real actions, things that they've done. We don't have a lot of solid information where we can be like, "Yep, you did this on this date. You did this on this day. It's got to be you." But there's been other cases that us, in the true crime community, we've reported on, and all of the ducks might be in a row, and it just logically fits that it's a certain person or certain people, and then we're all in shock to find out it is not. It looked that way, the
Right.
way they behave, and then that's what I'm afraid of. So I'm trying not to jump to a conclusion. Like I was really scared to really start inferring at all that the son-in-law and Annie was involved, because I know what was happening. I know what it looked like. Yeah, I know what it looked like for them to be constantly going back to their house, investigating, searching, etc., etc. But I had to pause and be like, don't even want to share your thoughts either way, like, because that could just turn out to be not the case.
But
Maybe
why
they're
are they
just,
circling back? What, like, they're still at this, like, today circling back from what I think I can tell online. I could be wrong.
I believe that they have legitimate reasons for going, there and for circling back. I wholeheartedly believe that they either believe that it's some piece of crucial evidence that lies in Annie's house along with her husband that could help them to uncover what happened to Nancy. Or, I mean, I hate to put out, something negative, or there is a strong, it suggests the possibility that maybe they have some kind of probable cause to believe that either it doesn't have to be her, it could just be her husband. So we got to be very, very careful.
Right.
Her husband, if not both, has played some sort of role. They have probable cause, but not bona fide proof to go and have a press conference and say, "Oh yeah, we made an arrest and we are pressing charges, and these are the charges." So it's
What
either
what's your
or.
what's your
Yeah.
thoughts on him being in Italy right now? Have you got any feeling on that without like jumping one way or the other?
A lot of son-in-laws aren't close to their mother-in-laws, first of all, so that's a norm. Even if she's abducted, even if she has been harmed, even if she's no longer here, like, this is not like unusual. For if there was already some kind of strain, it's not unusual. If he was not super close to her, like, oh my God, I love her like a mother, and we can see all of a track record of them just being so embracing each other, loving each other, son-in-law, and day out with mother-in-law. I'm not seeing a track record of that clearly. So it changes things. Or not seeing that. And there's a lot of son-in-law, there's a lot of daughter-in-laws. They're not close to they're strained relationships. I would argue that there's more strained mother in-laws like relationships than there are relationships where they're embracing mom-in-law just like they would embrace their own mom. So if that just wasn't the case, why be fake about it? If that just wasn't the case, why be fake about it and like go on the trip? That's not that. I don't think that was the case. If that was the case, we'd see evidence of that being the case because we probably see him coming by there with flowers, dropping flowers off. We would see the evidence of I'm embracing mother-in-law, Miss Nancy Guthrie, just like I love my own mother, right? And if that was the case, yeah, you'd see different reaction. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean he's a suspect. That
Yeah.
doesn't make him a suspect.
I'd have to
That's
hurt
too
my
many.
husband if he
Yeah,
didn't stay with me during a
yeah,
time like that.
yeah. That doesn't mean that means that it wasn't like that to begin with. So, why fake it? Why fake it? It wasn't if it wasn't like that, why pretend all of a sudden? Some people are not really they don't care what's going on. If they felt a certain way, they're not going to switch up and start. You're not going to see him buku crying all over the news, all in press conferences because it probably wasn't that way to begin with. We don't know what that relationship was really like. We don't know how he really felt about her, but it's apparent. It's apparent that to me, I don't think it was on the same terms of some people feel that way about their mother-in-law. They feel just as bonded to their mother-in-laws as they feel to the mother that birthed them. That if that's not the case, he's gonna go on that trip to Italy and he's gonna do whatever he gotta do because that just wasn't the case. You get what I'm saying?
What is your thoughts about the bedroom? So, for example, the DNA that is mixed, or they can't. I don't know. And what took place in that bedroom? Nobody's really talked much about that I've seen. Do you have any speculation?
I'm going to be careful not to speculate because the authorities haven't released much information to us. So I would be speculating based on what I imagine they collected out of the bedroom. What I believe happened is that she was taken from her bed. I can only say that now due to what Savannah Guthrie's last plea was, right? And what she said in that plea, right?
Right.
She made reference intentionally. She's a journalist just like me. So this is something that she wanted to come out. So in her own way of saying taking from her bed, then I'm feeling really comfortable with, okay, there's some evidence that she was snatched from her bed. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I can assume that it was probably violently. It wasn't a gentle. So that's the only assumption I can make based on what she basically says happened in that night, that fateful night. Yeah.
Grok, I believe I'm sourcing the right information or from the right place, said that her last recorded heartbeat jumped from like a normal 80 beats per minute to 220 beats per minute. Now, I could be wrong, but I, I got that source from something offline.
Okay. Okay. I have not seen that myself, that reference, and I wouldn't debate it with you. I'm pretty sure if someone's afraid, that would happen. Everything is going to be elevated. Your blood pressure is going to be elevated. Everything, pulse, breathing, all of that will be affected. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's all that I've got, but
Yeah.
I'm just here to
So,
listen more.
okay. My question to you, just trying to stay on topic or the topic that I put out there for the day. I'm like, what will be the topic? Do you believe this is a work of an amateur or a work of someone more sophisticated?
More sophisticated, but maybe loose ends, not well thought out. As
Okay.
well thought out as they thought they might have had. Maybe something changed. I don't know.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. I do appreciate you tuning in today and sharing your thoughts. And I guess
I
I'll
love you,
talk to you
Pebbles.
later.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Mhm. All right. It was wonderful listening to Jennifer and her sharing her thoughts. In a nutshell, she stated that she believes that Nancy's abduction was the work of the people or person responsible. Could be someone who, you know, more so took time to think about what they were going to do before they did it, right? But we do see evidence of mistakes being made, right? We can all agree to that because of the footage and other bits of information that we've been able to learn that if this was perfectly like with no mistakes, I would I think that we would not have the footage of the masked man. We just wouldn't have certain things and we wouldn't know certain things. Doug is saying, I'm curious as to the theology, ideology of everyone. We know about Nancy and Savannah, but what about everyone else? All right. Doug, if you like to join, you can join. You can turn your camera off if you want to. We'll keep it on. I did include a link in the chat, and I do want to thank Cookie for the stars. So I appreciate you. I want to say that. I see that you said stars, so thank you so much. All right. And Jennifer, while I wait to see if you would like to join or not, I'm reading another comment. Jennifer is saying on Facebook, keep in mind we are live on YouTube. You can go to Missing Lost in Traffic on YouTube if you prefer to watch there to watch this stream. All right. Jennifer is saying that Campbell Road is where the one glove was found and has a direct connection to Kayla. All right. How do you learn about the direct connection that glove has to Kayla? If you can let me know in the chat, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I am waiting on your comments. Anyone else that would like to join, I'm giving you time to join right now. I'm going to share this live stream out to a few Nancy Guthrie groups. There's some great people over there. They have great ideas, great input. They're looking at everything. I've not seen a lot of just wild claims. A lot of what I've seen, it's being backed up by some really logical supporting evidence. All right. So you're saying Kayla Day. All right. All right. Kayla Day. All right. I want to fact check what you're saying. All right. So gloves. Y'all, I got my other device, so I'm Googling. While I'm waiting on you to join, amateur. Is this an amateur, work of an amateur, or some type of sophisticated? Was it planned or not? All right, so Kayla, let's see what we have here. Kayla, glove, and team. All right, let's put. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, we'll go down rabbit holes while I wait on you to join to let me know if you think this is the work of an amateur or someone more sophisticated. So I'll pull up their detainment and we'll go from there. Okay. So I'm pulling up an article because I need to be refreshed on what happened first. All right. So this is news that has come in from WFIN. It was released 8 days ago regarding a Luke Daly. This is just a refresher for everyone and for me because I just didn't it was like, what's the point in looking and going down that rabbit hole? Like after they let them go, I didn't do as much as I just really didn't. I was like, oh, they detained some people. Oh, they let them go. Huh? Nothing to see here. And that's as far as that went with me. It was like, they let them go. So why even go there? But if you all want me to go there, we'll just refresh ourselves and see what we think. All right. On February 21st of 2026, WFIN reported that an Arizona man was detained in SWAT operation, and the Arizona man is denying link to Nancy Guthrie's abduction. Two ex-cons from Tucson are facing intense online scrutiny in the Nancy Guthrie case, despite authorities accusing neither of involvement, even after one was detained for hours in SWAT raid and released without charges. They are Luke Daly, age 36, and Kayla Day, age 32. Neither have been accused of playing a role in Guthrie's disappearance. Day was already in jail at the Pima County Adult Detention Complex during the operation targeting Daly last week for unrelated charges. The raid went on for hours on February 13th of 2026, with dozens of law enforcement vehicles seen at a home in the Catalina Foothills neighborhood and more surrounding a Range Rover at a nearby Culver's restaurant. All right. Daly was arrested by the Marana Police Department in Pima County on May 15th. This is previous arrest that we're talking about. On 2025, accused of selling drugs, possessing drugs, right, and narcotics rather, and a gun, despite a prior felony conviction, according to the filings. All right. Although Daly's complaint does not identify the passenger, Day was also arrested on May 15th at the same Walmart location, and her complaint states she was with a male driver. She also faces drug and weapons charges in connection with the incident. Police approached the vehicle where they saw a used syringe with heroin-like residue. New detail. According to a probable cause affidavit, Daly and the passenger were subsequently detained. A search of the vehicle found heroin, okay, a 9 millimeter pistol, right, with a loaded magazine, about 1,000 opioid pills, right, and suboxone or suboxone strips, I believe, and $1,366 in cash, police allege. Daly appeared in court on January 12th and is currently out of custody. His jury trial was rescheduled from February 21st to May 19th, according to court documents. He was the target of a search warrant on February 13th, in which Pima County deputies and the FBI detained people for hours, including Daly and his mother. They were released without charges. None have been accused of playing a role in Guthrie's suspected abduction. A Range Rover was towed during the incident, but it was not immediately clear whether it belonged to him. A neighbor told Fox News Digital earlier this week that Daly's total Dodge Charger had been towed by his insurance provider after the raid due to an unrelated crash. The neighbor added that Daly was pissed about the SWAT raid, and his mother was upset because she doesn't know what's going on, adding that everyone wants Nancy Guthrie found. The Pima County Sheriff declined to comment regarding Friday's activity and whether any vehicles towed so far in the case have been returned to their owners. The Range Rover, which had been searched at the scene and sealed with evidence tape before the tow, was not visible from the perimeter of the sheriff's impound lot when visited by Fox News Digital Tuesday. All right. Authorities allegedly found Day passed out in the driver's seat. They saw in plain view the presence of drugs, according to the complaint. She was asked to step out of the vehicle and allegedly responded with slurred speech and confusion. She was arrested, and arresting officers said they found opioid pills, a white substance, right? Crystalline substance, a black tar substance, and evidence of heroin use. Okay, I think they were high. A warrant was issued, 4 days arrest in January, accusing her of missing court dates and pending cases. She is currently being held without bail, according to the Pima County Sheriff's Department, but she refused transport, okay, to her February 18th court date. She didn't want to go there, I guess. It was rescheduled for February 27th, and the Pima County Sheriff's Department was ordered to transport day by any means necessary, according to court documents. They're going to transport her there regardless. Daly's lawyer, okay, Chris, and Daly's lawyer Nicholas Bratton both declined to comment when contacted by Fox News Digital. In a statement to 12 News, a local outlet, I believe it's Day's attorneys, disavowed any connection to the Guthrie case. They're saying there's no connection, right? All right. The Scalapi law can confirm that Luke Daly was the subject of 2 search warrants, okay, issued and served on February 13th, 2026, he said. Mr. Daly and his mother were both detained by law enforcement while the search warrants were being executed. Both were released without charges, he said. Mr. Daly has no link whatsoever to Nancy Guthrie and has no information related to her kidnapping, Scalapi added. Like the entire Tucson community, both Mr. Daly and his mother are hopeful that Nancy will be returned to her family unharmed. A masked suspect in Guthrie's apparent abduction has been described as standing between 5 feet, 9 inches, and 5 feet, 10 inches tall, with an average build. He was carrying a black Ozark Trail brand backpack and what appears on video to be a holstered pistol. All right. So I don't want to be redundant because I'll be just stating all the details I previously stated all over again. But what do I think about this? Anything's possible, but I feel that the police, at least they don't believe they have probable cause to further question Daly, to further question Luke Daly and Kayla, or to further question or detain his mother. They just don't have that probable cause, and I believe that's why they let them go, to detain them for questioning, to identify them publicly as being persons of interest. I certainly don't have the probable cause to identify them as being suspects in this case. They lack probable cause, in my opinion, to charge Kayla, right, Day, or Luke Daly with any crimes whatsoever in connection with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Now, because they were detained, because they have a shady past, people are going to feel forever in the day, right? That you're not going to change the way people initially feel. A lot of people are just going to be dead set on believing that they weren't involved and law enforcement missed something. I mean, my just feeling about it is that I just don't feel strongly that they were involved. I don't have any proof. that I can argue with and say, oh, yeah, I got proof that they weren't involved. And I'm saying this because I got this overwhelming amount of evidence that I don't have pointing to them being innocent. I don't. I don't have any of that. I just have what I feel. I feel that these individuals have drug problems. I believe they have a past. I believe, yeah, there was some intersecting between those individuals and Nancy Guthrie, meaning they knew of her, and maybe spoken to her, had some sort of relationship with her at some point, whether it was in a servicing matter, right? They serviced her address with something, or they just knew her from church, from the community, whatever. I'm not feeling strongly that these people are the people really that we should be investing our time looking at this time. The only way that would change is if someone could provide me something that they've done that's concrete in relation to this case that's going to point them as being persons of interest that are just being ignored by the Pima County Sheriff's Department. If you give me something, give me audio recording of them admitting to something, text messages, Facebook messages. People have those things, believe me. When I ask for it, if somebody got it, they're going to send it to me. I know. Something that's really going to raise the antennas like prosecutors up, right? The people who can prosecute, district attorneys and stuff like that, right? Then I may change my thoughts about them. Other than that, I just feel like everybody's going to be focused on them because they were detained. And of course, everything that they've done in their past is going to be brought into question. The drugs, the drug trafficking, all of those things, just because of what we know about them. And we've not gotten close from the eye can see to getting any kind of suspect. So, let's just make them suspects because they were detained. But the harsh reality of it is that they were detained and let go. And the Pima County Police Department, neither has the FBI, put any titles on them. They're not titled them as a person of interest. They're not titled them as a suspect. Like, it's a nothing burger without compelling evidence. It's a nothing burger, unfortunately. Probably just wasting a lot of time and energy. They detained them for the reasons that they detained them, and they're not going to tell us their reasons, but they could have just been barking up the wrong tree. I mean, they're trying to figure out what to do. Like, who can we arrest, right? Who can we tie to this crime? And they thought that maybe based upon what they have, and then they had to vet it out more and investigate it more. And like, yeah, it seems like we had something, but we don't. We try to like lock these people up and just throw charges on them. If they don't have some concrete evidence going along with it, they're going to be the laughing stock of the country, the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and they could potentially be sued. So, by the family, Nancy Guthrie. So, for just wanting to appease the public and just make those people be the suspects, like, yeah. And where does that get us? No justice and no peace, and everyone looking like fools. That's where it gets us. Who wants to look like a fool? I'd rather the case remain unsolved than like for us to just like frame some people and throw some charges on some people and then find out we were just, it was nothing. Like, it went nowhere because they had nothing. And that's probably what they were thinking about. Like, oh, we got nothing. We don't have enough to do that. All right, someone says, is the Cajun Navy still involved? Right? That's a good question. Or have they left? I'll tell you what they're saying on their Facebook page. Let me go over to their Facebook page and we'll go from there. Okay. So I'll tell you what they're saying on their Facebook page and we'll go from there. I don't want to tell you what I think. I'm just going to tell you what's being stated. Okay. What are they saying? So it's the United States Cajun Navy. I'm on their Facebook page. I've been live for a while, a whole hour. Only one person wanted to talk to me. I'm going to end this live stream. Nobody else wants to get up here and talk. It's cool. Let's see what they got going on. I'm on the United Cajun Navy's Facebook page. I'd rather just read what they're saying. All right. 23 hours ago, the United Cajun Navy stated that the FBI has moved its command center location as efforts evolve, and they express appreciation for United Cajun Navy's willingness to assist. We are grateful for the opportunity to stand as a resource in support of law enforcement. It is about working together, staying focused, and doing whatever we can to help bring clarity and closure. Thank you to Fox News for covering the ongoing developments. That's one post. What's the other post saying? All right. One day ago, United Cajun Navy said, in any search and rescue deployment where United Cajun Navy is assisting alongside a criminal investigation, including the search for Nancy Guthrie, operational details are not publicly released. That is intentional, protecting the integrity of Nancy Guthrie's case, maintaining the trust of law enforcement, and respecting her family will always come before public visibility. We understand how deeply invested people are and how badly everyone wants answers, okay, in Nancy Guthrie's case. We do too. We feel that weight. Wow, we may be limited, right, or limiting rather, what is shared publicly. Please know there is an extreme amount of work taking place behind the scenes. Search efforts, documentation, coordination, and credible tips are being handled responsibly and directed towards the proper authorities. Providing intelligence to law enforcement must be done carefully and professionally to ensure the best possible outcome in a successful rescue and recovery. That responsibility is something we take very seriously. What we can responsibly share is what you will see posted here. Everything else is being handled with care, respect, and purpose. Please continue to keep the family in your prayers. So that's what they're saying. All right. What else are they saying? Oh, well, the United Navy or not United Cajun Navy Vice President Brian Trasher joined Nancy Grace to discuss the ongoing search efforts in Nancy Guthrie case. That was 2 days ago. This is posted to their Facebook page. Brian spoke about the value of tips coming in through our solid reported system and how volunteers are working behind the scenes to carefully review each submission. Credible information is organized, documented, and forwarded directly to law enforcement. One particularly interesting tip discussed involved a ski mask allegedly worn by the suspect that is reportedly sold at only one store in Tucson. Details like that matter. Sometimes it's the smallest piece that moves a case forward. If you saw something, if you know something, if something stood out to you, and they have a tip website, www.sawitreported.com. Your information could bring answers, boots on the ground, eyes everywhere. 3 days ago, the United Cajun Navy reported United Cajun Navy is on the ground assisting in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Please keep Nancy's family in your prayers as updates continue. 4. Official updates follow local news and law enforcement announcements. All right. That's it in a nutshell from the United States Navy. I'm sorry. The United, I keep saying the United States. I'm sorry, y'all. The United Cajun Navy. All right. What is Ezekiel saying right now? All right. So I feel that they shared way too much in the start of this investigation. If we can see, so can the perps of the investigation. If we can see, so can the perps. Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, some things, I don't think they've shared enough. So you'd have to go into detail on what you mean by like giving the perps a heads up. Now, there were the sheriff did kind of like release some information that he didn't have to release. Like, we did not need to know exactly what, when they had those helicopters in the air, exactly what they were doing, for example. I think they could have just kept that a mystery. Oh, they're just up there and we're not commenting on this time at this time. But and there was some other things that he didn't have to say or maybe shouldn't have said. Other than that, I think there should be more said. Right? And that's going to help the public to help the Guthrie family better. The public can't help. They're not equipped enough to help because I think the most crucial bit of information is still yet to come out. And that's what's complicating and crippling. That's my opinion. Crippling this case. All right. Now, I have been live for 1 hour, y'all, and 12 minutes. I appreciate Jennifer for being here. Doesn't look like anybody else wants to come up. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. I'll try to do this again. I'll pre-act just like I did before. Hey, anybody want to join this live? Let me know just to probe to see who would be interested in joining a live stream discussing Nancy's disappearance. But if not, it's all good. I'll just continue to update. I just found out some really interesting pieces of information regarding some woman that was screaming from a car. I'll be the night in question. I'll be posting the receipts and the 911 call. Yeah, that's coming today. It's crazy. All right. And a 911 call. So thank you so much for joining this live stream. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you so much for the support. The 50 state alert is still very much active for Nancy Guthrie of Tucson, Arizona. We are definitely going to be reflecting and thinking about Miss Guthrie's family. For those of you people of faith, of course, the people of the faith-based community, we're going to continue to pray for resolve, whatever that may look like in this situation for the Guthrie family and Miss Guthrie's friends and Miss Guthrie's church members, Pebbles, and neighbors. Pebbles, executive news producer of Missing, Lost, and Trafficked and Lure, Lost, and Unsolved. For now, signing out.